Hello artists, so today I'm going to be showing you two ways to create value with colored pencil. The first way is with varying pressures, and the second way is with adding some black and white to it. So what I have here and what you'll need is you'll need a experimental paper, and you will put value at the top here. You will need to create two long rectangles with 5 sections each, and then you will need a black and white colored pencil, and then two other colors of your choice. The first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to do how to create value using pressure. Either really light pressure or really dark pressure. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to start right in the middle box here, and I'm going to put in a nice mid-tone. I'm going to use just my normal pressure, not too dark, not like pushing all the way in, but not too light either. So I want to make sure that I'm getting just a nice even pressure to start with. I'm starting in the middle because this gives me a place to go. I can either get darker or lighter with my pressure. All right, we're going to go up first. We're going to go with lighter pressure first. So what I'm going to do here is all I need to do is I just need to add less pressure when I do this square right above it, just a little less. It's just going to look slightly lighter, just a little less pressure. And then when I go one more up, even less pressure. I hold my colored pencil all the way at the edge here, and I put it down so it's kind of on its side. It's kind of at a 45-degree angle, just so that it gives me, I find that I don't use as much pressure if I hold it this way. So just even lighter pressure. All right, and now I kind of have a value scale going down a little bit. Light, kind of like mid-light, and then my mid-tone. If I found that this got a little too dark, then maybe I just need to go down and darken this up just a little bit more. And then I could darken this to kind of make it so that it's even more of an effect. All right, now we're going to go down the other way. With this, I just need to add more pressure. Remember, you can always add more color to your project. You can't really take away with colored pencils. So I feel like this is about the same here, so I need to go back through. Maybe I need to use a little bit more pressure in my colored pencil, and I just need to go back over it again. I can use these varying types of pressures when I'm doing things that are close or far away from me. Things that are far away from me in my landscapes might have less color to them. They're going to have less color because they're farther away, they're harder to see. Things that are closer to me, though, are going to have more color or more pressure. So, and then when I go down here, I can go ahead and go for it. I can use my super dark pressure. I can go ahead and use that hand strength that I've been waiting to use here. And I can go ahead and make that super dark. Another way to add more color to it is by burnishing it or making it really shiny by pressing kind of hard into it. So I want to make sure, or adding more color here, that would be like a saturation of color here. The more color I add to something, the darker I make that color without adding any other colors is called a darker more saturation. So if I were using this in a drawing, the things closest to me would have a darker saturation. The things like the sky or the grass that's really far away might have lighter saturation here. All right, the second thing I'm going to show you here is creating tints and shades using black and white. So I have a blue colored pencil here. Again, I need to start in the middle, and I need to create my mid-tone so I know where I'm going, and so I know how much black or white to add to things. A lot of times with colored pencil, sometimes the white colored pencil, especially with Crayola colored pencils or Rose Art colored pencils, the white tends to not add as much. So a lot of times what I end up doing to get this lighter value or make it look more white is I just use the less pressure. I find that this works better for me, but you can also use the white if you would like. So I will show you with the white though. So again, less pressure on top with my blue and even less pressure to make it even lighter. Even lighter. If I'm going to use my white here, what I would do is I would start with light pressure first, and you're not going to see much of a change at first. It's just going to even out your tones a little bit. It's going to even it out, and you're just going to add a little bit of white to it and a little bit more white again, and you would just press. The farther up you go, the more pressure you would put on with your white. Again, I find with colored pencils, especially Crayola colored pencils, that a lot of times just using lighter pressure works just as well as using my white. Now onto the shades. So up here up top, this is a tint going up. When you add white to something, it's a tint. Now to go down to a shade. So here I need to add in my blue. I need to get to my mid-tone range again. They look the same right now. Now I'm just going to add a light amount of pressure of black. Just very, very light. Not very much at all. This would be like the middle if I had just a little bitty shadow going on from something, or if I had maybe a mid-tone, just a little bit of a darkness to it, right? Now I'm going to get a little darker here, and I'm going to add a little bit more. I feel like I can add a little bit more pressure to my blue. Again, I'm using kind of this mid-tone pressure because I need some space in my paper. If I go this much pressure with my blue over here, I will have no room for my black. And then here I would be able to press just a little harder with my black to create a darker shadow. This would be for those really, really deep dark shadows that I wanted to add to any landscapes. Just like that. And then I have a scale going up and down, really light, my tints, to my mid-tone, to my shade. An example of how to use some of these would be, I have a couple little places here in my landscape that I drew. So here I've got like this really light mid-tone shadow right here. It's a pretty light background here, but as you can see, like right under here, I've got really a darker shadow towards the edge of my ice cream cone, but then it gets lighter as it goes out. Another area I've got it is in this licorice tree. In my licorice tree, I've got areas of my tints where I've just left parts of it white to make it look more round, and parts where the area of the tree is behind another part. I've added some shades to make it look like it's behind something. With the chocolate that's running down my candy apple mountains, here I've got like little areas of a highlight with my tints so that it looks more three-dimensional. Happy experimenting!